Emotional intelligence, understanding the basics. This is part of our eBit series. Our eBit series are tidbits of e-learning information designed to give you a glimpse of learning that you can then make intelligent decisions on how to move forward. Please also look for our e-webinars, which are 60 to 90 minutes long, and our e-workshops, which are 1 day and multiple days long. Let's move forward. Emotional intelligence is one of the big buzzwords out there, but it's been around forever. Emotional intelligence is the capacity to be aware of, control, and express one's emotions, and to handle interpersonal relationships judiciously and empathetically. But what does that really mean? Defining. Let's take a step back and define emotional intelligence a little further. 1, it's emotional awareness. It's the ability to define one's own emotions. Emotional intelligence starts with your ability to understand your own emotions and how they affect others. 2 is to apply and harness. How do you apply your own emotions? How do you harness it for the best benefit? And this will advance your thinking and problem solving. And 3, manage your emotion. Obviously, the ability to regulate your own emotion, and then the skill of managing others' emotions. That takes the skill of understanding their emotions as well. IQ versus EQ. 2 buzzwords out there. EQ is the 5 components that make up emotional intelligence, which we'll discuss in a minute. The score that's derived when you score yourself in those 5 components make up your EQ. What is important here is what makes a great communicator and or leader. IQ and technical skills are important, but the most important things for a great communicator and or leader nowadays is emotional intelligence. Effective communicators and or leaders have one thing in common, and that is a high degree of emotional intelligence. And in fact, the higher the rank of a person in a company or organization, the higher the emotional intelligence they need instead of technical skills. So this is a driving factor now in organizations today, that CEOs, in fact, have to have a high level of emotional intelligence, that their 5 components make up a high EQ score. So the impact of emotional intelligence is very important, because emotional intelligence helps drive many areas. It drives the ability to maintain a positive culture. Certainly, if you understand and have that awareness to recognize others' behaviors and the emotions that drive those, you're able to impact their work quality. The effectiveness to communicate. And this is because you understand and have an awareness of others' emotions and your own. You have the ability to understand how to communicate best to each individual. It's the impact of influence. Well, there's where you use your skills, because you know how to influence each person that you're speaking with. Also, it impacts the receiving and delivering of coaching. Obviously, in our work society, the individuals who are coachable are the ones that we like to spend our energy with and make the bigger impact as we spend our energy with them. But it's also the ability to lead or be led. So individuals themselves that have a high level of emotional intelligence are ones that you can lead and they enjoy being led. Here are the 5 components of emotional intelligence. Number 1 is self-awareness, the awareness that you have of your own emotions. Number 2 is self-regulation. You may be aware of your emotions, but do you have the ability to regulate your own emotions and utilize them in different ways with others? 3, motivation. This is not only our self-motivation, but then the ability to motivate others. 4, empathy. Empathy simply is your ability to see things from others' point of view. I once heard it said is, putting yourself in other people's shoes. And then number 5 is social skills. So the ability to have the social skills to interact with people of different emotional levels. The ability of those 5 components are as follows. 1 is know your own emotions. 2 is the ability to manage your emotions. 3 is recognize and know others' emotions. 4 is manage the emotions of others, so the ability that you understand their emotions, but you have the skill set to manage their emotions. And number 5 is to motivate yourself. That's the emotional intelligence domains. In regards to emotional intelligence, the attributes of a strong leader understands that the goal of emotional intelligence management is to learn than to teach. Now, this isn't a typo. It's not then, it's than. Many times as leaders, we want to teach others, but the goal of emotional intelligence management is to learn about others, and that's a very important aspect. So let's round this out with the final keys of emotional intelligence. 1, understand that EQ, unlike IQ, can be increased, and that is a positive. Emotional intelligence awareness drives a positive culture because you have that understanding of each individual. In fact, today's leaders need a higher EQ, which is more important than IQ. Also, empathy is an important aspect of understanding others, to put yourself in their shoes. 5, observation is a great tool in learning about others. 6, self-awareness starts with humility. 7, social skills increase with courage. And 8, an environment that is safe where people can be vulnerable actually increases their social skills. We'll leave you with this great quote by Daniel Goleman. If your emotional abilities aren't in hand, and if you don't have self-awareness, if you're not able to manage your distressing emotions, if you can't have empathy and have effective relationships, then no matter how smart you are not going to get very far. Very important. Read that again to yourself. Thank you very much. We want to thank you for attending. If you'd like to email, our email is mark@markvillarreal.com. If you have questions about additional courses, you can send that to contact@markvillarreal.com. My website is markvillarreal.com. My phone number is listed there. And please subscribe to our YouTube, which this will be posted. But as we create new tidbits or other e-learnings or educational videos, you will be notified as well. So please, thank you very much and have a good day.